want to do a hopefully quick video on the Boonedox rudder. Now this is something that I truly love and can stand behind, and I would recommend to everyone who owns a native Watercraft Slayer Propel to go out there and get you one of these rudders, get you an upgraded rudder, because what it offers you over the stock rudder is just a phenomenal capability. And what happened to me was I had this on my boat for majority of the year, and then I didn't tighten it down enough one day, and on the back of my truck it's just bouncing, and it came off. So I actually had to go to my favorite kayak store, Delaware Paddlesports, and buy another one. And thank God they had this, because it made the difference, because the next day I won the tournament the next day, and it was super windy. I mean, it was super windy the whole time we were there, and this really helps you in those types of situations. So when I was fishing without my Boonedox rudder, I immediately noticed that I was having to use my paddle more. I was getting blown off course, and I couldn't affect the change on the kayak that I needed to affect. Because with this rudder, you know, a small turn can be a big change with the kayak, and that's very important. That's one of the true benefits of the native Watercraft Slayer Propel, is that you have a kayak that can really fight the wind. And there's not a kayaker out there who can tell me that they're just like, oh, I love the wind, I absolutely love it, because I wouldn't believe you. But you know, this is a very, very firm, sturdy product. It's got a great welded seam right there, much like the other products, like the Boonedox landing gear has a great welded seam on that product. And when I actually had the privilege to talk with Dave Allen, the director of sales at Boonedox, and he told me that he's like, if anything breaks that is defective on our part, one of these welds, you send it back and we'll replace it. So you know, they stand by their product, and they really should. This is a super sturdy product. You're not going to back this into a stump and break it or anything like that. You can drag it on the ground. It's going to hold up to that wear and tear. I still want to give you a true and honest review of this, and I have one negative thing to say about it, but it's really not a negative thing, because it's kind of like, it kind of does its job. So how is that a negative thing? But before I get into that, let me give you the true benefit of why you need this and why you should have this on your kayak, especially your native Watercraft Slayer Propel. Responsiveness. That's very important when it comes to a rudder, and that's what this provides you over the factory rudder. It gives you a more responsive kayak, and that will help you stay on track when you're tracking down a bank. That'll also help you fight wind, which again, that's one of the prime benefits of a Slayer Propel, is that you can fight wind 10 times easier than you could with a paddle, because you're getting pushed into a point. You can pedal back versus paddle back, and so you can stay connected with your rod that whole time instead of, you know, doing this motion. And this helps you in those situations, because again, it's giving you more leverage. It's giving you a more responsive kayak, so that when you get that big gust of wind, you've got more to turn the kayak with. And again, that will help you stay on track, and that will help you fight that wind. Last but not least, for me, it really helps me be faster on the water. Faster, more efficient, more effective. Because say I'm fishing a lay down or something like that, and I want to back up and go, I don't have to take out that paddle like I was having to do when I didn't have this on the boat. And it sucks that I lost it, because I had to pay to replace it, but you know, I really got that perspective because I'd been fishing with it for so long. I'd forgotten how much I loved it. And when I was at Delaware Paddlesports and they happened to have one, I was like, guys, you got to hook me up with that, because I absolutely needed it back on my boat. I don't want to fish without it. So I said I would give you a bad point about it. The fact that it is so responsive is kind of a bad thing. So say you're tracking down the side of tracking down a bank, and you're fan casting and stuff like that, and you have it just set just a little. Well, that small turn is going to affect more change on the boat. So in a sense, you're constantly having to kind of straighten that out, and I've never been able to get it to where my boat just continues and tracks straight down the bank. So the fact that this gives you more leverage means that, yeah, you're going to turn off and you're going to have to keep getting down there at the rudder control a lot more, which, hey, pair yourself with a left-handed reel and it's real quick and easy. You never have to take your hand off the rod. But guys, if you're interested in one of these, definitely go check them out. These guys are a great supporter of our MAKBF series. They make a lot of other good products like hammocks, the Boonedox landing gear. If you haven't seen that, check that video out. That's an awesome product. I am so glad I have that on my kayak. It makes loading and unloading just a ton easier than it was with me trying to ratchet down straps all the time. You know, ratchet it to put it on the truck, to take it out to the lake, then take it off, ratchet it to take it into the water, and then ratchet it to put it back on the truck. That sucked. And when people were like, oh, it's a $250 product, it's $250 well spent in my mind. So, but you can get all these products at Delaware Paddlesports. Check those guys out. That's tax-free shopping, guys. You're going to save money just going there with Delaware Paddlesports. But if you have any questions about this rudder and which rudder you should get, I highly recommend this one. There are others out there. Check those out by all means. But I like these guys. They're a great group of guys. They support our MAKBF, and they made great other products. So I'm sticking with these guys. But that's my opinion. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And y'all have a good one.